Hi guys, this is Miss Toy, and today we are going to be doing lesson 14 of our social studies simple solutions. So as before, you will need a highlighter and a writing utensil. It's okay if you don't have a highlighter. So let's go ahead and begin to read. It starts with the Aztecs, part 1. The Aztecs settled in Mesoamerica early in the 14th century, over 3,000 years after the beginning of the Mayan civilizations. We already have a bolded word in that first sentence. It is the Aztecs. So let's go ahead and highlight that very first sentence of that passage. Like the Maya, the Aztecs had a very advanced culture. They established a massive city named Tenochtitlan, and I probably butchered that word, but that is a bolded word, so let's go ahead and highlight. They established a massive city which became their capital. So their capital is going to be that big long word, and it does give you a pronunciation guide with that. The city was built on an island in a lake that had roads over water called causeways leading to it. Another bolded word there, causeways. So let's highlight. The city was built on an island in a lake and had roads over water called causeways. The city was heavily populated. To produce enough food, the Aztecs built floating gardens. These were rafts used for growing maize and other crops. People traded what they grew at an enormous market. The Aztecs possessed great skills in medicine, art, and astronomy. They had a calendar and a writing system as well. Like Europeans, the Aztecs had a class system with nobles at the top and commoners and slaves at the bottom. In the 15th century, the Aztecs began conquering neighboring civilizations to increase their size and power. They wanted to become the most powerful group in the region. In the early 16th century, the Aztec Empire was at the height of its power. Then in 1519, Hernan Cortez arrived on an Aztec land. He was a conquistador from Spain. Conquistador is a Spanish word that means conqueror. So we've already read through two bolded words. So let's go ahead and highlight the sentence that begins with, then in 1519, Hernan Cortez arrived at Aztec land. Let's highlight conquistador is a Spanish word that means conqueror. So this is what your passage should look like. Question 1. The Aztecs possessed great skills in blank: astronomy, medicine, art, or all of these. And I remember back in this little paragraph right underneath here, it does mention that in the first sentence. The Aztecs possessed great skills in medicine, art, and astronomy. So all of these would be what the Aztecs were great in. So we will circle all of these. In the glossary, find and read the definition of PreColumbian. Which of these was a pre-Columbian civilization? So, go back to your help pages. Let's see, get all of the glossary pages. So back in your help pages, you had a big copy of all of these glossary terms. So it wants us to find and read the definition of pre-Columbian. So let me go ahead and find pre-Columbian. So we'll have to go to the P's. Okay, so it's going to be your 290 page right here. And pre-Columbian is this one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and read the definition for that. Pre-Columbian: civilizations that were established in the Americas before Christopher Columbus and other Europeans arrived. For example, the Maya, the Aztecs, and the Inca. So, we now know what pre-Columbian means. And our choices here are the Maya, Aztecs, and the Inca. And that is all of them that were in the definition of pre-Columbian. So our answer will be all of these for question 2. So let's go ahead and circle that. So far, both of our answers for those are all of these. Question 3. The Maya and the Aztecs both had writing systems. True or false? So if you remember talking about the Maya, they were an advanced civilization. So let's see if the Aztecs had a writing system. So they had a calendar and a writing system, and it says that in this paragraph right here. So the answer for number 3 will be true. Question 4. Which 2 words mean about the same? Road, causeway, crops, or market? So if we go back, causeway was one of those bolded words that we had. And a causeway is a road over water. So a road and a causeway are, they mean about the same thing. So let's go ahead and circle road and causeway. Question 5. Write C if the underlined part is a cause, or E if it is an effect. Because of new technologies, Europeans sailed farther than they had ever been before and began to explore a water route to Asia. So, that, to me, reading that, would be an effect of new technologies, because Europeans were able to sail farther than they'd ever been before and explore new water routes to Asia. So we will write E for number 5. 6. A blank was a Spanish soldier and explorer who conquered. So if we go back, the very last sentence, we highlighted a word that means conqueror. So that word is conquistador. So 6 would be conquistador. So circle that. Alright, so 7 and 8 are going to be referring to our help pages, and it wants us to look specifically at the branches of government help pages right here. So number 7 asks, how many branches of government are there? So there's one right here, another one right here, and another one right here. So there's 3 total branches of government. So let's write in 3. Right there. 8 says to list them here. So if we refer to our help pages, we have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch. So we're just going to write in all 3 of those. So we have executive, judicial, and legislative. So that is going to be our answers for that one. Number 9, match each name to its description. So our words are going to be equator, prime meridian, international dateline, and latitude. So let's go ahead and see where we can find the equator. Now remember, our equator is a latitude line, and it is at 0 degrees. So from that, B, we know that B is at 0 degrees latitude, so it'll be our equator. So for equator, we will put B. So prime meridian. Remember, our prime meridian is a longitude line right in the middle of a map, and it is at 0 degrees. So prime meridian is 0 degrees longitude, so long. And that, my friends, is the definition for that is written in for D. So we will put D for prime meridian. The international dateline. So let's take a look here. So remembering back to our other lessons that we talked about, we know that the international dateline is that 180 degrees longitude line that goes in the back. So our answer for international dateline would be A, and that leaves the measured distance from the equator for C, latitude. Number 10. The blank was an important system of trading routes connecting China and Europe. The Columbian Exchange, the Silk Road, International Dateline, or causeways. Now remember, causeways we talked about as the Aztecs. So the Aztecs was in Mesoamerica, so it was mainly in the Mexico region and the South American region. So we know that causeways probably won't be it. And we know that the international date line was not a system of trading routes, so we can go ahead and mark that one off. So that one leaves our Columbian Exchange and the Silk Road. Now the Silk Road, I'm just going to tell you guys, is actually from what Christopher Columbus was trying to get to and find a better way to China. But unfortunately, he did not go to China and in like the Indian area. He went the opposite way and went to the South American region and North American region. So our answer for 10 is going to be Silk Road. So this is what your simple solution should look like. And that is it for lesson 14. Thanks.